If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free, and there's nothing like free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other platforms. And the best part, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Welcome to the C Simple Secrets podcast. Thank you for joining me again. I'm C, and I'm going to start today's episode off with a little poem that I wrote, and it's called The Way I Love You. Passionately, intensely, unapologetically, foolishly, deeply, with all my heart. What I would do just to see a smile light up across your face, just to hold your hand or feel your hands brush across my back or your fingertips on my cheek. I love you like I've never loved before and wonder, could I ever love this way again, the way that I love you? Today's episode is going to be on the topic, private until it's permanent. And this is something that I've been seeing kind of swirling around social media lately. I have a few different viewpoints on it. But basically, private until it's permanent means that you don't post your significant other on social media until you know basically that it's going to last for a long time. So whatever is permanent to you, if it's going to be engagement, if it's going to be marriage, whatever that next step is, you keep them a secret, so to speak, until that time comes. I thought about a few songs to kind of help me with this topic, and one of them was Secret Love by Luther Vandross. And in the song he says, your secret love, why can't we tell somebody? Because secret loves never last that long. Your secret love will never be your true love. And then he goes on to say, I can't be your secret because it's breaking my heart. So basically, when you think about keeping someone a secret, it's a reason behind it. So we're going to dig into that a little bit deeper as we get further into the podcast. And then the other song I thought about was Escape song, My Little Secret. And once again, it's you're my little secret, and that's how we should keep it. Nobody should ever know basically what's going on between us. And so in both of those cases, the relationships were being kept a secret because the person, was either trying to have something on the side or trying to keep their options open, or whatever the reason was. It wasn't a positive reason. And in one case, it was affecting the person involved. Now, if both of you guys decide to keep it a secret, I think it's a little bit different, but we'll dig into that a little bit later. So I've been on both sides of this. In my first longest relationship, we did post each other on social media, probably, starting a few months in. And it's kind of crazy to me because it's the one thing about social media is that, people are watching, of course. And so I can remember when, we broke it off, the way that somebody approached me with it is, well, how's it going between you two? And it's like, oh, yeah, well, we're not together anymore. And then the person is like, oh, yeah, well, I kind of noticed that anyway because I hadn't seen him on your social media or you on his social media lately. And so the crazy thing about it is that I still have pictures of us on my social media. I didn't take pictures down because to me it's like, okay, these are memories that still happen. These are things that still occurred. So you can't erase history. So just because you took it down doesn't mean it never happened. He had taken everything down, deleted all of our pictures together. I still had pictures of us together. But I think it was the fact that I hadn't posted anything new. And, more than likely, if somebody was going through his social media, they saw he had taken everything down. And so I think after that happened, it just made me kind of take a step back. And I said, okay, the next time, I don't know if I want to be posting, our relationship on social media like that, because I don't want people that are not close to us to really be in our business, so to speak, like that. So the second time around, I will only post, like, I might post group photos of us all together, or I will post, like, if, he did something really special for me that I really appreciated. And it wasn't even about people seeing it. It was just about the feeling that I had behind it. Like, wow, this is really great. Like, oh, he sent me an edible arrangement to my job, or, he got me this bouquet of flowers, or whatever little special things that he would do. I really appreciated it. And so I will put it on social media kind of as a thank you to him, like as a tribute to him. I felt like that was enough. I didn't feel like I needed to overly post our relationship on social media, but just like those significant things. Because I'm kind of the belief that a lot of times when you're really enjoying yourself and you're really having fun, you don't have time to say, oh, let me snap a picture of this, let me make sure that I record this, because you're in that moment of it actually happening. I feel like it's almost more authentic when you're not like staging photos and, maybe it's just off guards or, something like that. But you just kind of in the moment with that person. And I can appreciate that part of it too. If you don't post, it's fine. But I think that what I kind of find to be problematic, and which is kind of trippy for me, is when I see people post like they're on a date or something like that, and they put the person in the picture with them, like they took a selfie together, but then they put a smiley face over the person's face, or they put a monkey over the person's face or whatever. And it's like, well, what was the point for even posting it? Like, you could have just had the person take a picture of you and just post that. So I don't really understand why people do that. It's like, oh, y'all don't need to know who it is, but just know I got somebody. Which to me is just like, if it's not serious enough for you to show their face, or if there's a reason why you can't show their face, then you just shouldn't even post it. Like, and I guess in that respect, I would say keep it private until you feel like it's something serious and something that's worth posting. Because if not, it's just kind of pointless, to post a picture of you with this figure without a face. So the way that I feel about this issue is it really just depends on what your motives are. Like, what's your reasoning for showing it? What's your reason for hiding it? And it really depends on how that person feels as well that you're in a relationship with. Like, do they feel like they want to make this? Because I've heard like of couples, for example, saying, okay, we're sitting right next to each other. Come on, let's post a picture together to like signify that we're in this relationship together. And they'll go ahead and both of them will post the picture on their social media. But then one day I was watching the Steve Harvey show. I like to watch the playbacks on YouTube. And so in one of the Ask Steve questions, there was a guy, and, he was with this girl, and it's like he's posting her all on his social media, but she wasn't posting him on hers, and he was feeling a way about that. And so Steve was basically telling him, like, look, if she's not posting you on her social media, that means that she's not sure. And basically the girl ended up coming out and saying that he was really secure about where they were in their relationship, but obviously she wasn't there yet. In that case, I do feel like it should be a decision made to say, well, keep dating a little while before we, put everything out there. So that way we can protect both of us and both of our feelings in this situation. Some of the things that I was thinking about is, are you posting this for validation? Like, do you want people to say, you got a handsome guy or whatever, or you got a good looking girl? Do you want like congratulations about that? Or are you posting it because it's heartfelt, like this is the person that I really love and I really enjoy spending time with, and I'm blessed to have this person in my life, and that's why I want to share it. It's not about clout. It's not for everybody to see that, oh, we're in the Bahamas, oh, we're in Miami, we're doing this, we're doing that. But it's really because I love this person and, I'm enjoying my time with them. And I want to share this with you all because it's something that's making me happy. Another reason could be, is it giving people hope? Like, I know it's so funny every time I see this, but like with Ciara and Russell Wilson. And, every time they post a picture or something like that, everybody is always up under the picture in the comments saying, give us the prayer, sis. Give us the prayer, tell us what the prayer is, or God, what you've done for others. Like, come through for me. Like, let me go back and meditate on this or whatever. And I think in those cases, like when I see certain things on social media, it does kind of give me a sense of, well, first of all, it makes me happy because I'm seeing that someone else is happy and I'm getting joy from seeing that they're happy in their relationship. And also, it kind of does give us hope to say, okay, this is possible, especially in Ciara's case where, she was coming out of a relationship and she had a son in that relationship. And it's like, now you have somebody that's taking your son as his own and helping you to raise him, and now you all have established your own family. You have a daughter, and now you have another son on the way. So it's just showing people like these things are possible, and I think that's wonderful. Like, that's something that definitely should be applauded, and it should be out there for people to see, because we put so much negativity out there, and people see so much negativity on a daily basis. Why not see somebody uplifting, just giving their mate that validation and, just letting them know, like, I appreciate you. And I really want to say praise almost. I mean, not in the worship perspective, but like praise as far as just giving them the accolades that they deserve. Like, thank you for being this person for me. Thank you for being there for me through all of these things. And thank you for helping me to heal and, helping me to grow. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I definitely think there's also a difference between being private and being secretive that I want to bring out. I think that when you're private, it's like, I know that this relationship means a lot to me. And so I want to protect it almost. And I don't want people's words on it. I don't want people's judgment on it. I just want it to be what it is in its current state. And then when you're being secretive, it's like, I don't want people knowing what's going on because I have something going on too. Like, you're not going to be getting any DMs if you posting somebody all over your social media. So I think that being secretive is saying, hey, this is good for the two of us, but I still want to keep my options open. And I think that's where it becomes a more dangerous thing versus a protective thing. And so I think we also need to be mindful of that as we, think about being private with our relationships. Once again, it just ultimately goes back to the motives. Like, what's your reasoning for doing what you're doing? Are you doing it because you want to protect your relationship, or are you doing it because you want to keep your options open? So overall, I really don't think that there's a real right or wrong answer to this. It's basically just what feels comfortable for you. Never do anything that you're not comfortable with. If you're not comfortable posting that person on your social media, then don't post them, because when it boils down to it, it's really about the way that you feel. It can go into how people are going to react, but that's not really what's important. What's important is that you're showing something that is making you happy, and if it's making you happy, then it doesn't really matter what other people's perspective on it is. But I would definitely say, if you're not comfortable showing that person, then don't do it until you're comfortable, until you all make the decision together. Now, I know another part that was kind of brought up about this topic was that not just the showing on social media, but let's say that, this is a person that you're dating, and you guys are actively dating, like you're going out together, you're spending a lot of time together, and it's not just private for social media, like it's private altogether. And I mean, like, nobody really knows that this person exists. And let's say that, you all have been dating for a period of time, like I would say 6 months or more. And so, especially if you're dating exclusively, now in that particular case, I would say to evaluate what's going on in that situation, because it's like, why is it that, not only am I not on your social media, I have not met any of your friends, you have not met any of my friends, or maybe you have met my friends and I haven't met your friends, or you spend time with my family, but I haven't been around your family, then I would think in that particular case, that's a situation that needs to be evaluated, because you don't want to be private altogether. It's one thing to say, well, I want to keep our relationship private for people that are not in our circle. But if people in your circle don't even know that you're dating this particular person, then that's the situation that I would say you need to evaluate and say, okay, is this relationship for me, or is this person for me? And what's my reasoning behind not wanting them to be around my family and friends? Like, why am I hiding this person? It's one thing to not post and to not share that way, but it's another thing to have a person be a complete secret in your life. And I think that's where we'll kind of lose confidence or lose self-esteem in that area, because it's like, okay, how do you really feel about me, where you don't feel that this is important for this to be happening? And a friend of mine had brought up a point and said, well, I don't think the whole private until it's permanent thing is a good situation altogether, because it's like, I need you to know that I have a support system here. And in those cases where, you never know what might happen as far as abusive relationships or things like that, people need to know that you got some backup, pretty much. And that was a point of view that I really hadn't thought about as far as that goes. So I would just say in conclusion that you have to decide what you're comfortable with sharing. And you have to decide what your reason is for sharing and what you're trying to achieve by sharing. And if, all of your motives are pure, even if it's keeping it a secret, or not even a secret, but just keeping it private between your family and your friends, if your motive is pure, then it doesn't matter. It all boils down to your motives and how you feel and how the person that you're with feels. And if you all are secure in what you have and you're moving to that next level, whatever that may be for the two of you, then by all means, keep it private until it's permanent. But if there's something that needs to be evaluated, you guys got to sit down and talk it out, communicate about it. And so that's the episode for today. Let me know what you all think. Give me your feedback. I really appreciate it. Thank you.